Hey, what's up, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551, and I am back with a My 2 Cent video for this week, where I give you my thoughts and opinions of some of the stories that came out this week, at least the ones that interest me as well. So why don't we get started with our first part of our My 2 Cent video, and for this one, we're going to be taking a look at a comment regarding or statement made about the Switch version of Valkyria Chronicles 4. Now that is one of the titles I am definitely looking forward to playing on the Nintendo Switch when they announced it last year. It's also coming to the PS4 and Xbox One as well. And apparently there's some good news and some bad news. The bad news, at least based on what I've been hearing so far, excuse me, seems to be more towards the Japanese version. As of right now, we haven't heard anything regarding the Western version, to be exact, which, if rumors of the release date are true, it's supposedly, I think, an October 16th release date. But anyway, let's get started with this article, though, and this is from Destructoid, and again, links will be in the description of this video if you want to check it out yourself. It points out that at the Fest event in Akaba, if I'm saying that correctly, Tokyo, has some mixed news for Valkyria Chronicle fans regarding the Japanese Nintendo Switch release of the series entry, though. The bad news is that Valkyria Chronicles 4 has been delayed on Nintendo's hybrid console, originally set for the release of summer, though, again, this is in Japan. It will now arrive sometime in fall, though. A clip of the game was running on the Switch was recorded also as well. However, the good news, and depending on how you want to look at it though, the original Valkyria Chronicle game will also be released on the Nintendo platform. So at least come fall, Japanese Switch owners will have two great strategy titles to take on their daily commute. Whether this delay will also push back the Western Switch release is unknown. Valkyria Chronicles 4 is out now on PS4 in Japan. It's currently scheduled for release in the West on PS4, Xbox One, and Switch later in 2018, with a recent rumor pointing to an October 2016. While this doesn't sound like as bad as sort of like what we're hearing with Dark Souls Remastered, which I'm going to get to that part as well, though, it's at the very least, according to this report, though, if this is true, it seems to be only towards the Japanese version, as it doesn't seem that we've heard anything, at least towards the end of this week, of anything regarding a delay in the Western version or not. So, yes, it's unfortunate for Japanese Switch owners. They're going to have to wait until the fall to play Valkyria Chronicles 4, and that could impact possibly the sales for the game over there. But at the same time, the Western release doesn't seem to be impacted, at least at the moment. That doesn't mean we can't hear anything down the road that could mean a delay of Valkyria Chronicles 4. Even the possibility that the Switch version could be delayed. But for right now, it seems as though this is only contained in the Japanese version and not the Western version right now. The bright news I did like to hear is that the original Valkyria Chronicles is getting a release on Nintendo Switch, which is definitely a good thing, and I'm very happy to hear that. For what I've been hearing, it's that it's going to be basically an eShop only title, so don't know a word of any physical version or not, and no word if this is coming over here to the West or not. Personally, in my opinion, I would love the original Valkyria Chronicles to come over here to the West. I would love for them to release it alongside with Valkyria Chronicles 4. Maybe do like what they did with Bayonetta 2, where basically when you picked up Bayonetta 2, the physical version, you get a voucher or a code to enter in the Nintendo eShop, and you get to download the original Valkyria Chronicles as well. Or maybe they'll do something like, say, like for those who are going for the digital route, maybe like if you buy one of those, you get an automatic discount on the other one. I think they did that with Bayonetta 2. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe they did that with it. Or I would like to see an actual physical version of the original Valkyria Chronicles, though. Either way, I'm hoping that the original one comes over here to the West for the Switch, just like they're bringing it over to Japan, and hopefully it will run as well as, say, the PS4 version did. I'm hoping they could hit like a 60 frames per second, 1080p docked, 720p undocked. if they could get 60 frames even at 720p, that's fine with me. Though, I mean, it's not the most graphically enhanced game, though. It's the art style looks beautiful and all. And one last thing to point out about Valkyria Chronicles. I have to say, though, that to me, as far as my favorite video games of all time, I would rank it number 5, though. I really do. It is definitely a very fun game. So, mixed news for Valkyria Chronicle 4. Obviously a delay in Japan, and if you're a Japanese Switch owner, obviously you probably won't be happy about this, but at least we're getting the original one coming to the Nintendo Switch, and that's definitely a good thing. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to get to part 2 of our video that's going to point to some news from Bandai Namco, some unfortunate news for Switch owners, and possibly some good news for Switch owners or PS4 owners, depending on how you want to look at it. So, we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of our video, of our My 2 Cent video for this week. And this one obviously is not going to be great news for Switch owners who are hoping to pick up Dark Souls Remastered, which was originally scheduled for May 25th. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's going to be a case, although the PS4, Xbox One, and PC are still moving forward with a May 25th release date. This is going to make not a lot of Switch owners happy. So, according to an article on Nintendo Life, again, link in the description though, Bandai Namco has revealed that Dark Souls Remastered has been delayed until the summer, along with a special Solitaire amiibo. The May 25th release date still applies to other versions. However, it would seem that whatever the issue has occurred only has impacted the Switch version. So unfortunately, there could be many issues, like there could have been maybe a bug that they found in the game, or maybe they're having a much harder time putting it onto the Nintendo Switch than they originally have. So again, there are many ways this could have been this could have happened. So it is a little unfortunate that it's been delayed for the Switch version, and it's going to be interesting to see how long in the summer we're going to have to wait for it, and what kind of impact this could have on sales numbers until the Switch version. However, it apparently appears as though that there will still be an early network testing though. Again, in an article from Nintendo Life, again, link is in the description, it points out that it came as quiet as an unexpected strange blow when Namco randomly delayed the Switch version of Dark Souls to some unidentified point in the summer, citing the natural of casualty and the reason for the delay. Many fans were understandably distressed at the news, but it also wasn't made clear how the company would be handling the previous announced network test that was promised, which was some sort of pre-release demo event that would test the server's performance. Fortunately, the network test hasn't been canned, although it too is being delayed to some unspecific point in the future. A fan recently reached out to Namco on Twitter asking about the issue, and the company replied that the test will happen closer to the Switch version release date, and that the date will be announced when they are available. There's still no info on what form the network test will be taken, but hopefully it will be suitable, meaty test for the gamers, for the game. Pardon me if I'm saying this wrong. So it looks like as though that they're going to still do the network testing, but obviously, like the remaster version, it basically sounds like it's going to be at a much later date, though. I will admit I am a little disappointed with this announcement, though. It is very unfortunate, though, that the game has been delayed, though. And while I am disappointed with it, I'm not completely losing sleep over it, and I think some people, I'm not saying everybody who owns a Switch is acting like this, or every Nintendo fan is acting like this, but some may have taken it a little too far. One example is that one person said that should Nintendo basically make up for this lack of, the lack of Dark Souls Remastered not coming to the Switch, being delayed and everything like that, should they you know, basically make up for it in somehow, some form. First of all, and this was some post on Facebook and everything like that, but first of all, Nintendo does not own the IP of Dark Souls Remastered, okay? That's being developed by FromSoft and Bandi Namco, alright? They don't own that right. Nintendo doesn't have to do anything about it. They don't have control over the delay. If Bandai Namco made a decision and they found a problem with it, that's on them, not on Nintendo, okay? Second of all, yes, it's disappointing that Dark Souls Remastered has been delayed, but at the same time, there are other games there that are probably worth checking out as well. Alright? And I just think that the way that was presented came off as a little bit as an entitlement, okay? You're not entitled to get something out of Nintendo just because a game got delayed or something like that. I will admit, it's disappointing. It sucks that Dark Souls Remastered is being delayed on the Nintendo Switch, but I just don't think there's nothing to lose sleep over it or anything like that. Maybe we'll hear a new release date at E3 when Nintendo does their presentation. Most likely it will be its digital presentation as always, though. But I don't think you're entitled to something just because something got delayed or anything like that, alright? The only entitlement I could think of for anybody is if you bought a game and it's broken and it doesn't work or anything like that, then yes, you're entitled to get a game that works and all that stuff if you feel like you've been ripped off and everything like that. But you're not entitled just because the game got delayed and anything like that. So it's just ridiculous, in my opinion. So bottom line with Dark Souls Remastered, it's being delayed for the Nintendo Switch. It's unfortunate, I will agree. I think the Valkyria Chronicles 4 delay is certainly a little bit better than this one, though. So, but it's not something I'm going to lose sleep over. And besides, with May coming out, I got Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. So, yeah, I got something to keep me occupied and all that stuff. Again, disappointed, but not losing sleep over it, though. On a bright side with Bandai Namco, it appears as though we might be getting a Xenosaga trilogy remake if these reports are true. Now, this was sort of rumored last year and it sort of had popped up and all that stuff. It hasn't yet, or at least the rumor popped up, but nothing came out of it. But now it seems as though there may be, it may be actually be happening, at least if this trademark is true. According to, let me get the article, from comicbook.com, again, link is in the description. Apparently it seems as though a trademark has been filed by Bandai Namco. Recently filed a new trademark for something called also Spartacus Zathertha. I have a hard time reading the name. You can read the article itself and point out. And while that doesn't exactly spell out Xenosaga, it does have something in common with the franchise, that the name of the third and final game in the series, though. So, and it points out that only that particular phrase has apparently been trademarked, as there is no sign of any other Xenosaga theme wants to go along with it right now. So, at this moment, we don't know for certain if it is going to happen. But if it does happen, it will be very interesting to see what kind of remake it is and what platform it would go to. Will it go on? Could we see it stay on the PS4 to be that? Could it come on there? After all, the Xenosaga did get a start on the PlayStation 2 to be that. Or could we see something along the lines of it possibly going over to the Nintendo Switch, considering that Nintendo does own a good chunk of Monolith Software, the same studio that brought us the Xenoblade Chronicles series, though, and I believe they are the ones who also developed the Xenosaga. So it's possible it could go there. It's also possible it could come to both. We could see an announcement of it coming to not only the Switch and the PS4, and maybe it's possible we might hear an announcement at E3, though. For now, though, it's only just mere speculation at this time, and they only filed a recent trademark like what Capcom did with Onimusha. So we'll have to wait and see, but hopefully it is true, and who knows, maybe they'll announce a brand new chapter in the Xenosaga series. Maybe that will happen, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe they'll make something, maybe they'll make an announcement at E3 or so on. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, we're going to talk about a comment Nintendo, or one of the directors who works at Nintendo, made a comment regarding the possibility of WaveRacer. So we'll take a quick break and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of our video, and for this one, we're going to be talking about a recent comment that one of the directors, or one of the folks who work at Nintendo, regarding possibly a return of a certain franchise that hasn't been seen for a long time, and that is, of course, I'm referring to as WaveRace. Now, from what I could tell, there have been so far only 3 versions of WaveRace, though. I believe there was one released on the Game Boy, though a very long time ago. I never played that one, though. WaveRace 64, that one I remember playing back during the N64 days, including, I think there was a cheat code where you could ride a dolphin in, like, I think Dolphin Park or something like that. And then there was one released on the Nintendo GameCube, though. I think it was called WaveRace Blue Storm, and so on. But since then, the series has kind of remained dormant, along with 1080p snowboarding, which also was released only on the N64 and GameCube, to be exact. So unfortunately, the series never really, since then, have never seen the light of day for a long time. Of course, then again, Punch-Out was released back in 2009 for the Wii. That got another shot, and who knows, maybe we'll see that again as well. But anyway, it appears as though there is a possibility that the series could be making a comeback, and we could see it on the Switch. So, from a comment posted on, again, comicbook.com and also Nintendo Life, again, links are in the description of this video, the comment was made when speaking with fandom during the 14th British Academy Game Awards last week. I think this article was around April 17th. Alright. It points out that Nintendo developer and WaveRace producer Shinoya Takasaki, if I'm saying the name correctly, if not, I apologize for that, hinted that the series might be making a return, and the Nintendo Switch seems like an ideal platform for said return, if we do say so ourselves. You may see that game again, he noted when it came to the return of WaveRace. We've been trying to make many games, so that might be one of them, and I personally love WaveRace though. I believe he also made a comment on saying that Nintendo was working on new hardware for the next system, which really shouldn't be that surprising, considering that this has been said in the past, that every time they're finished with the hardware and their system has come out, they're always thinking about their next system. So this really isn't anything new, and I don't expect we'll hear anything about a Switch successor for a while. But anyway, back to the WaveRace one. You know, I certainly would be down for WaveRace coming back, though. I think there are a lot of franchises that Nintendo should consider bringing back, given how successful the Switch has been. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Zelda, I love Mario, and all. I'm not really a big Pokemon fan, but I won't deny that there is a major audience for that one as well. But I think there are several other IPs that they could bring back. Again, Punch-Out was one that I mentioned, though. I think that could get another shot. But what about other ones, like, say, Ice Climber, for example? Why not bring that back as well? Why not? I mean, WaveRace definitely would be a nice thing to bring back, see as well. And also 1080 snowboarding, there is a rumor about that one. Or if you really want to go out there, why not bring back, say, Star Tropic? Why not bring that back for a new generation as well? So, in either case, for me though, I definitely would be down with them bringing back a whole new WaveRace for the Nintendo Switch. I think given the popularity of the Switch and given to where it is right now, this would be a great opportunity as well, and introduce a new audience who may have missed out on WaveRace back in the past. So overall, it's not an official confirmation, and we'll have to wait and see. Maybe they'll announce something at E3, maybe they won't, but I certainly would be down with a brand new WaveRace, to be exact. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, I'm going to mention something that I overheard from a friend that I know regarding the possibility of Devil May Cry 5. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with the fourth and final part of our My 2 Cent video. And for this one, I'm going to talk about a recent, or at least something I heard from a friend of mine regarding the possibility of Devil May Cry 5. Now, that game has been rumored in development, and there were supposedly rumors going back to the possibility that we could see it at a certain event. I think one of Sony's events that did not happen. But if what this person is telling me is true, it is possible we could be hearing about it soon though. Now before I begin talking about it, I do want to give a bit of a disclaimer right off the bat. Number one, I wouldn't go as far as calling this the most groundbreaking information, and I could be completely wrong on this on so many levels. And two, I got this from a friend who works in retail who knows someone who works in the gaming industry. That said, there's been false rumors before, so take this information with a grain of salt. You could treat it as you think this is real or you don't think it's real, so take it however you want to take it though, but bear in mind, this is just a rumor. That's all it is. I'm not treating this as this is factual or anything. So what did I hear though? Well, according to what my friend who I know who works in retail told me, that apparently that Devil May Cry 5 does exist, and he knows someone who is working on the game. So apparently the game does exist, and there is a possibility we could see it at E3. Now, whether or not this information turns out to be true or not remains to be seen, and we'll have to wait and see whether or not the game does show up in E3. But what if it does? Let's say, for argument's sake, Devil May Cry 5 does exist. Let's say the rumors are true, and it does exist, and it shows up at E3. So, the question is, will this be an exclusive for, like, say, most likely the PS4, considering the series got to start on the PS2? Or could we see it as a multi-platform release? Could either Sony or Microsoft announce it at their events, or will Capcom announce it at maybe if they have a press conference and hold their event? If I had to take a guess though, I would say the most likelihood is that I do think that that Devil May Cry 5, if it does exist, will probably be a multi-platform release though. I certainly do believe that it will probably come to the PS4. PS5 is a possibility, though. There's been rumors of that in development. I know that system in development, and possibly hearing about it this year. Don't know if that's true or not. We'll have to wait and see. But I believe that most likely will probably come on the PS4, and I wouldn't rule out the possibility of maybe them doing like PS4 exclusive content or anything like that. As far as the PC and Xbox One version goes, unless Capcom and Sony sign some sort of deal where they make it a time exclusive, or unless Sony pulled what Nintendo did with Bayonetta 2, where it's like, hey, we'll fund this game if you make it exclusive to our system, I believe most likely we will see it on the Xbox One and PC as well, though. I mean, after all, I think the other Devil May Cry games and even the Ninja Theory DMC also were on Xbox and also on PC as well, so I certainly do believe more than likely we'll see it on PC and also Xbox One. As far as a Switch version goes, the Nintendo fan inside of me would like to see it come to the Nintendo Switch, and there are rumors going around of it possibly running on Unreal Engine 4. But that said, given some of the comments Capcom has made in terms of their support for the Nintendo Switch, when they released Ultra Street Fighter 2, the final challenger, and were happy with it and said they will support the Switch more, then they said, oh no, wait, we're referring to this game, all that stuff. They made some confusing statements though. I have to say the chances of it coming to the Nintendo Switch is slim, at least that's how I'm looking at it. Now, I'm not saying I'm against Devil May Cry 5 or the Devil May Cry series coming to the Nintendo Switch. I would be open to it. I would love for those games to come to the Nintendo Switch though, but my guess is that the chances are very slim that a Switch version is going to happen. I think more than likely a PS4 version will probably happen. I think the odds are more in favor of it coming to PC and Xbox One. I believe that it will probably happen in that. Switch, I'm not 100% sure. I think the chances are very slim, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe we'll hear an announcement at E3. Maybe what I heard from my friend is true, and that could happen, but again, I cannot 100% verify this. This information, for all we know, could be false. But we'll wait and see what happens at E3. Maybe Devil May Cry 5 will be announced, and I certainly would be down with that, definitely. Okay, this concludes this video for this My 2 Cent video for this week. And again, these are my opinions. What are yours? What are your thoughts about the delay of Valkyria Chronicles 4 in Japan? Do you think it's a big deal and we could see a delay here in the West, or do you think it's really not that big of a deal at all and this seems to be only impacting Japan, not the West at all? And what about the announcement that the first Valkyria Chronicles is coming to the Nintendo Switch? Are you happy with that? Are you not happy with that? Do you think it should stay as a Nintendo eShop title? Do you think they should release a physical version? Would you like for it to come here to the West as well? What about the announcement of Dark Souls Remastered for the Switch version being delayed from May 25th to the summer? Are you disappointed with this announcement? Are you surprised by this? Are you not surprised by this? Does this in any way impact your decision on Dark Souls Remastered? Does this mean you're not going to pick up the game at all? Does this mean you're going to switch over to the Xbox One, PS4, or PC? Or you're not bothered by this? And what about Bandai Namco's possibility that we could see the Xenosaga trilogy happen? Would you like this to happen? Would you be down with a remake of the trilogy though? Do you think it should stay on PS4? Do you think it should come to the Switch? Do you think it should come to both? Do you think maybe it could come to PC or Xbox One as well? And would you like a remake version of Xenosaga trilogy? What about the statement regarding WaveRace though? Would you like to see a new entry in the WaveRace series for the Nintendo Switch, or do you think that series should remain buried? And what about my comments about the possibility of Devil May Cry 5, or the information I got though? Do you think that this seems accurate? Do you think Devil May Cry 5 is happening, or do you think it's not happening? And if it is, do you think we'll see it on the PS4 or PS5? Do you think it's going to remain exclusive on the PS4, or do you expect that we'll hear it come to the PC and Xbox One? And do you think there's a chance it could come to the Switch as well, or do you think, like I am, chances are very slim of that happening? Do you agree with what I said in this video? Do you disagree? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, sound off on the comment section below. Let me know what you think, and I hope you hit that like button. I would appreciate it, and I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You could do it through PayPal me or Patreon. Links will be in the description of this video. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that will be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then. Bye!